Did you like what you just heard? That was the new Exbolt 65 string from Yonex, and I've been pretty impressed with it so far. Here I have in my hands Yonex's latest badminton string for 2022, the second Exbolt string after the initial Exbolt 63 model. This is the Exbolt 65. Before I go into what I found in my testing with the Exbolt 65, I have to tell you I have a little soft spot for the 65's older sibling, the 63, as it was the first ever string review I did on this channel. And I remember distinctively that from my review that the sound and repulsion from the Exbolt 63 was absolutely outstanding. Although it wasn't forgiving if you mistime or mishit your shots. Will this Exbolt 65 be the same? And as soon as I opened the pack of string, I was very surprised at how smooth it was. Having a personal favourite string of Aerobite, and any other string would be considered smooth. But I quickly double checked how smooth the Exbolt 63 was and realised the 63 and 65 were very close in terms of string texture. But if I really had to pick, I would say the 65 was just a touch smoother. Only just. To me, something like Yonex's super popular BG66 Ultimax is already a very smooth string, but compared to it, the Exbolt 65 was way smoother, and the 66 Ultimax had more texture when you run your fingers through them. Both the 66 Ultimax and the Exbolt 65 are 0.65mm strings at the same time. In terms of stringing, the Exbolt 65 was a dream to string, seeing as how smooth it was. Weaving on the crosses was super easy and no fuss at all. The Exbolt 65 was also very easy to pull through, although I did find the string did kink a little when pulled across blocked holes. Nothing major, just take your time to unwind them if they do. I also found the string to be very steady under tension, and I never felt uncomfortable putting tension on the string, although it didn't feel like it stretched much more after arriving at its set tension. I normally string my rackets at 27 by 29 pounds in tension plus a 10% pre-stretch, and the Exbolt 65 handled that with no problem whatsoever. Here's the comparison of the sounds coming off the strings from two identical Astrox 88D Pro rackets, one with Exbolt 65 and another with BG66 Ultimax, both at the same tension of 27 by 29, fresh off the machines. In terms of the technical side of the Exbolt 65 string, there is a similarity to the 63 in terms of the forged fibre material that was used on the outer casing of the string. But the new thing with the 65 is there is an added coating on top of the forged fibre outer layer, which is called the Elasticity Outer. It is essentially an enhanced nylon coating coated onto the forged fibre for the Exbolt 65 string. If you're interested in seeing up close at a microscopic level on what does a badminton string look like, click here. For its packaging, obviously I've not seen the Exbolt 65 in its official commercial packaging, as this was a sample pack, but from what I can see on the website, I had a little chuckle when I saw what was written on the packaging on the new 65 compared to its 63 sibling. Here it says, drill through your opponent's defense with agile shots, whilst the 63 says, pierce through. Now I don't know about you guys, but personally, drill through sounds more powerful and lethal. Funnily enough, I asked my wife which one sounded better and she said pierce through, as pierce through sounded like an instant break while drill through sounded weak, similar to something like using a hand drill. Very contrasting opinions here. What do you all think? Which one sounded better? Let me know in the comment section down below, as I'll take drill through over pierce through any day. Additionally, looking at the stats, the 65 is a 10 out of 10 for quick repulsion, but has increased durability and shock absorption compared to the 63. It did lose a point on hitting sound, but as I've showed you earlier, this thing sounds amazing. The 65 also retains its 10 out of 10 for control, although I'm not sure how Yonex constructs its control scale, as Aerobite shares that same 10 out of 10, and I can tell you, nothing really comes close to the bite of the shuttle that Aerobite has. In terms of launch date, the Exbolt 65 is scheduled for launch at the same time as the new Yonex Arc Saber 7 Pro on the 19th of August, so make sure you guys subscribe, as my review for the Arc Saber 7 Pro will be released then. When it comes to playing with the Exbolt 65, you can certainly hear the distinctive, slightly metallic sounding high-pitched ping from the strings, and if anything that's short and sharp, shots such as drives and lids, they sound amazing. Anything that you hold and squeeze is certainly a treat, and the string is very reactive and feels crisp in that sense. The repulsion and power you get from the Exbolt 65 is certainly second to none, and I would have given it the same rating as the 63 of 11 out of 10 if I could. Although Yonex might be realigning its scale this time around, so a 10 out of 10 for perfection. However, for the bigger strokes requiring bigger swings, such as clears and smashes, this is where some of the challenges inherited from the Exbolt 63 reappeared. Anything off the sweet spot off your racket with the Exbolt 65 will certainly vibrate the racket, and instead of pingy, it becomes zingy. Although, actually watching back a lot of the footage that I recorded whilst playing with the Exbolt 65, I do notice a lot of my mistimed and off sweet spot shots did not come off well at all. They were significantly shorter than usual, and I wasn't able to get out of jail as much when put in trouble during my games. However, anything that connects on the sweet spot sounds and feel like $1,000,000, so quite a distinct difference in playability there. This situation certainly does improve after the strings have settled in after a few days, and I do feel the 65 isn't as harsh as the 63, certainly an improvement and a tad better in this department here. Perhaps the elastic nylon outer is making the string a little bit more pliable and slightly more compliant compared to the 63. In terms of control and bite with the Exbolt 65, I certainly had no issues with it at all. The shuttle reacted to how I liked it to be on my slices, on my pushes and my nets. There's certainly no aero bite in terms of the bite, but at the same time it doesn't feel anywhere near as slippery as the Energy 95 or 98. For those who are worried about the tension lost, here is what the Exbolt 65 sounded like after 2.5 weeks after it was initially strung. Exbolt 65. I think this is pretty impressive considering that this racket has been used in both training and games, amounting to over 15 hours of court time. As I've said about the Exbolt 63's durability, I was again very impressed with the 65's durability as the string coped with the amount of mishits that I've done, but also at the same time I think it hasn't lost too much tension at all, and it's certainly way above my usual tolerance for slacking strings. It still feels crisp and I still love playing with it at the moment. I do believe Yonex is onto a winner here, and I really enjoyed playing with the Exbolt 65, although for those who are really worried about the performance off the sweet spot shots, perhaps reduce your tension by 1 or 2 pounds with the string and see how it goes. Oh yes, maybe also leave your rackets to settle a day or two after stringing. That should also help as well. Although Yonex went thicker with the current Exbolt lineup from a 0.63mm to a 0.65mm, ultimately it's still a really fine string, and with a performance like this, I actually think this is better than the 63. More playability and supposedly better durability too. Why not? All that remains is the price tag of this string, as I have no information about this at the time of writing, so let me know how much it costs in your area for the Exbolt 65. If the Exbolt 65 is priced competitively, this would be an amazing win for us players. Till then, I'll see you in the next one.